Hi, hello everyone. I'm a tutor of Uplatz. This is HTML session part 1. To know more about us, please use this website address which I have given in my presentation. So let's see the agenda of our today's session. So today we are going to discuss about what is HTML and difference between HTML and HTML5 and what are doc types, how we can use headings for a web page, how can we display a paragraph in our web page, what are the types of text formatting we have in HTML5 to create a web page, how to use anchor and hyperlink tags in HTML, how to generate tables and lists. So everything we can see with example. So at the end of my this session, I will show you the practical demo for this topic as well as so it would be easy for you to uh, get through the concept whatever I am explaining today. So let's see a first topic. So what is HTML? So HTML is basically stands for Hypertext Markup Language. So basically it is used to design web pages using a markup language. So it is a combination of both hypertext and markup language. So what does mean by hypertext? So basically it is defines the link between the web pages, and markup language is used to define the text document which defines the structure of each web pages. So this is what the difference between hypertext and markup language. So it is the HTML is a combination of both. So what is the both combination we can do in HTML? We can define a link between different web pages, and also we can define a text with the different tags to structure a web page. So it is also used to annotate a text as a mission, and these languages are basically markup languages are like human readable. So the languages use tags to define a manipulation has been done on the text. So it is basically used for structuring and presenting the content on the web pages, and the HTML5 is the fifth version of HTML. So we have a four versions HTML4, 3, 2, but that remaining three versions are not as popular as HTML5. But recently, HTML5 has been using many of the large scale industries to design their web pages. So, the emerging from HTML to HTML5, we have lots of element has been removed and modified. So let's see that in our upcoming session, what are the elements they have removed and what are the elements they have modified in comparing to HTML and HTML5. So why we are going for HTML5? So the first reason is cross-browser compatibility, which means we can run our HTML5 in any browsers. It is well supported in Chrome, Firefox, Mozilla, Internet Explorer, all the versions, and Microsoft Edge. So it is like sorry, cross-browser compatibility and new document type declarations as well as so, and it is also improved in usability and user experience as well as so you will have a clean markup and improved code when you're using HTML5. So offline browsing is also possible, just nothing but if you have in absence of your internet connectivity also you can run your file so that you can get your output in your offline browsing. So that is also one of the main advantage. So audio and video is supported in HTML5, whereas in HTML you don't have that audio and video support. So with the help of this HTML5, you can in your web pages you can create audio and video for your web pages. So next is geolocation support, which means you can also enable your GPS connection with while writing a code with the help of this HTML5, whereas HTML is not supported for this kind of support. So I'm going to show you the basic difference between HTML and HTML5. Apart from this, there are lots of differences also. But the thing which I'm going to show you is an important difference between HTML and HTML5. So HTML, it does not support audio and video. So because why? Without the use of Flash support player. But this HTML5, with the help of the Flash support player, it supports audio and video with the help of this audio and video tags. So they have a separate tag called audio so that you can use for audio connection, and we have a video tags in HTML5 so that you can use for your video support. So it is used to store cookies, a temporary data, but whereas it uses SQL database to store your offline data. So it does not allow JavaScript to run on the browser, but whereas HTML5 background JavaScript will be running so that you can work with the API in the HTML so that you can make a dynamic web pages with the help of those API in HTML5. So video vector graphics is possible in HTML with the help of various technologies, VML and Silverlight, Flash, etc. In additionally, a part of HTML5, we have SVG and Canvas for those vector graphs. So it does not allow drag and drop, but whereas HTML5 allows drag and drop. So not possible to draw shapes like circle, rectangle, triangle. It is not possible in HTML, whereas you can use HTML5 to draw a shapes like circle, triangle, etc. So it works with all the old browser, and the HTML5 it is supported by all the new browser. So it cannot handle inaccurate syntax, which means familiar apart from familiar syntax, you cannot use some other syntax in HTML, but whereas in HTML5 it can handle that type of syntax as well as. So attribute like char set, asynchronous, and ping or absence in HTML, whereas the attributes of char set, asynchronous, and ping are a part of a HTML5. So these are the main difference between HTML and HTML5. So while coding HTML5, please you need to keep the these things in your mind, and you need to proceed with your coding for creating a web page using HTML5. So next is element insight. So element has opening and closing tags. So the opening tag contains an element in angle bracket like this. So this a p tag is one of the element in HTML5 is nothing but a paragraph, and it should be enclosed in the angle bracket. So the closing tag is identical to the opening tag, but in addition to that, it will have one forward slash between that angle bracket like this. So this is a closing tag and this is opening tag. So this is my content between this paragraph tag. So this is a simple paragraph which I have enclosed within my element paragraph tag. So now how can you create a simple web page so that you can you can write your code in any of the text editor. So but the thing is you need to store with extension .html files. So once created, the file can be opened in any type of the web browsers so that you can run your code. So this is my example, first HTML example. Uh, at the end of this session, I will run this code and show you the example. So HTML head, in header I have a title hello, and inside the body I have a h1 tag, opening of my h1 tag, and this is a closing of my h1 tag. And next I have a paragraph attribute. So this is the opening of my paragraph tag, and this is a closing. I'm just closing the body, I'm just closing the HTML. So this is the simple program for your HTML. So it should have a head. Inside the head, it should have only the title, and inside the body, you need to give the content. So, your HTML file can also contain without the header tag. So, head tag is not necessary, but a body tag is necessary in your HTML. So next is I will explain you the different tags. What are the tags which we have in HTML? So what is this doc? Exclamatory doc type. So basically what it is, the meaning of that particular line. So it defines the HTML version used in our document. In this case, it is a HTML5. So basically what it is telling, it will give you the HTML version which is using in that particular document. So next is HTML. So it will opens the page, and it the language attribute declares the primary language, which is nothing but ISO language code. It's AN for English. So basically it defines that. So next is head. So basically when you open the head section, does not appear on your main browser, but it will only contains information about the HTML document, which is nothing but a metadata. So it can also contain imports from the external style sheets and the script, and it will always have a closing of your header tag. So next is meta. It gives a browser some metadata about your document, and the char set will declares the character encoding. So modern HTML document and should always use UTF-8 even though it is not a requirement. So in HTML, the tag does not require a closing tag. So next is title. So it is like it is a title. It will give you the title for the particular page. The text written between opening and closing tags will be displayed on the tab of the page or the title bar of your browser. So body, it opens a part of the document displayed to the user, that is, it will be visible or audible content of the page. So no content should be avoided after the closing tag. So next is H1 tag. So it is like level 1 heading for the particular page. So in P tag, it represents a common paragraph of a particular text. So these are the tags, important tags, which you will be basic tag for the HTML5. So in the upcoming session, I will explain you more tags as well as. So next is what are doc types. So doc types is nothing but short form of document type. So it will help a browser to understand the version of the HTML document and return for better interpretability. So basically it will tell you the version for the current browser, whatever you are running. So if you do not mention the doc type at the top of your program, the browser will not understand what is the version of a HTML you are using. Because HTML and HTML5, there are lots of element have been modified and deleted. So it is very important to use the doc type at the beginning of your program. So the doc type declarations are not HTML tag and belongs at the very top of a document. So this explains the structure and declaration of a various doc types in HTML. So how to add the doc type? So it should be always be included at the top of the HTML document and before the HTML document. So which is like it should be the first line before opening your HTML tag. So HTML5 Doctype. So it is not based on standard generalized markup language and therefore does not require a reference to DTT, which is nothing but document type definition. So, and it will have a case sensitivity for this doc type declaration. So, a string that is ASCII case insensitive match of doc type. Therefore, these doc types are valid. So you can use a doc type like this, or like D should be small and O and C should be caps, P caps like this, or else you can use D caps, OC small, and type caps, or else better you can use everything in caps. So they have case sensitivity for this doc type in HTML5. So it should be at the beginning of your code before the HTML tag. So next, heading tag. So basically, heading will provides not only a plain paragraph tag but six separate header tags to indicate the heading of various size and thickness. So enumerated as heading 1 through heading 6. So it has from H1 to H6. That is what I have mentioned, from heading 1 through heading 6. So heading 1, which is nothing but H1, has the largest and thickest text, while heading 6, which is nothing but H6, is the smallest and thinnest down the paragraph level. So how to use your heading tags? So to describe the topic, they are proceed and they are defined with from H1 to H6 tags. So H1, which defines the most important heading, and H6 defines the least important heading. So how to define a heading? So H1 tag, I'm opening and closing. So this is how you need to define your heading tag. It should have opening as well as closing tag. So in between you can write the text whatever you want. So H1 is the largest and thickest text, and H6 is the smallest and thinnest text. So this is how you need to use the heading tag in HTML5. So next is correct structure of headers. So search engines and other user agents usually index a page contents based on the heading elements. So for example, to create a table of content, so using the correct structure for heading is important. So in general, an article should have one H1 element. So for main title followed by H2 subtitles. So going down a layer is necessary. So if a H1 elements on higher level, they should not describe any low level content. So for example, so H1 I have, I have a first line in my H1 tag, and second I have a paragraph tag, and third I have a H2 tag, and H3 paragraph. Again I have H3 paragraph, H2 paragraph. So what, this is how you need to have, it should not decrease your priority. If your H1 elements on the higher, they should not use to describe any lower level content. You should need to keep that thing in mind. So next is paragraph. So in paragraph, we have P tag, BR and PRE. So P tag will define a paragraph, and BR is used to insert a single line break, and pre is defines the pre-formatted text paragraph, the most basic HTML element. So these three tags you need to keep in mind. So HTML paragraphs. So the HTML P element defines the paragraph. So it will be starting with a P tag and ending with /P tag. So this is a paragraph and this is another paragraph. So next, display, you cannot, uh, it cannot be sure how HTML will display it. So larger or smaller screen, or else you can resize the window while create a different results. So with HTML, you cannot change the output by adding an extra space or extra lines in your HTML code. So browser will remove any extra space and extra lines when the pages get displayed. So this is an example for that. So this is another paragraph. Extra space will be removed by the browser while giving the paragraph. So this is a main challenging in this P tag. So next is text formatting. So while most HTML tags are used to create elements, so HTML also provides in text formatting tags to apply specific text related styles to a portion of a text. So basically, it will include examples such as how to highlighting, how to bolding, how to underlining a text, and how to subscript and how to strike and out the text. So I am going to show the example for highlighting, bolding, underlining, subscript, and how to strike a text. So let's see that one by one. How to highlight a text. So for highlight, mark element is introduced in HTML5. It's used to mark or highlight your text in the document. So the most common example would be in the result of a search where user has entered a search query and result are shown highlighting a desired query. So with the p tag, so here I have started my p tag. So here is some content from my article that contains, so selected query. I'm just highlighting that word selected query with the help of my mark tag. So I'm just opening my mark tag and I'm just closing my mark tag, so that while running this query, I will get a result of my selected query get highlighted. So highlighting the text will be easier for the user to find what they are currently looking for. So this is my paragraph starts here, and in here in between I'm just highlighting a particular text with the help of mark. So at the end of this session, I will show the example for this highlighting as well as. So next is bold, italic, and underline. So bold is nothing but you can also bold the text with the help of either a strong tag or with the help of b tags. So both are same. So mainly you can also use strong or b tag, but b tag only most of them are using. So basically, what is the difference? So strong is used to indicate the text fundamentally or semantically important to surrounding a text, while B tag is not important, simply represents the text that should be bolded. So if we are use B tag, would not say words any differently than any of other words. You are simply drawing attention without adding or additioning importance. So this is how you need to use bold in your program. So in order to bold your text, you can use either the strong tag or the B tag. So next is by using the strong tag, same program, we would want to speak a different tone of voice to convey that text is importance in some way. So this is how you can use. So next is how to use italicized in your text. So you can use either em or itags. So em is used either you instead of like strong, and b to in order to italic style your text, you can use style your text in italic format, you can use either em tag or I tag. So the difference is used to indicate it should have extra emphasis that should be stressed, and it simply represents this text to send off from normal text to around it. So next is how to underline your text. So basically, U element itself was deprecated in HTML, and we are reintroduced with the alternate semantic meaning in HTML5. So in between my paragraph element, I'm just using a U tag to underline my text. So this is how you can bold your text, italic your text, and underline your text. So next is abbreviation. To mark some expression as an abbreviation, you can use ABBR tag. So paragraph, I'm just using abbreviation tag. I'm just opening and then closing, and then I'm just closing my B tag. So if present, title is used to present the full description of the such abbreviation. So I'm just for HTML, I need to abbreviate that in my title. For that, I'm just using abbreviation tag, which is nothing but ABBR, and also it have a closing tag as well as. So next is insert, delete, or strike. So to mark a text as inserted, you can use ins tags. So I in between it have opening and closing tag. In between the ins, you can give whatever text you want. To mark a text as delete, you need to use del tag. So in between a del tag, you can use the text whatever you want. To strike off through your text, you need to use s tag. So basically s tag is used to strike your text, and it will have opening and closing tag as well as. So superscript and subscript. To offset text either upward or downward, you can use the tags sup and sub. To create a superscript, I'm just using sup. To create a subscript, I'm just using sub. So offset either upward or downward, I'm just using superscript and subscript tag. Superscript, I'm just using sub tag. For subscript, I'm just using sub tag. So that is the difference. So this is how you can insert, delete, and strike over text. So next is anchor and hyperlinks. So this anchor tag are commonly used to link separate web pages, but they can also use to link between different places in single document. So how to link to another site? So I'm just using a anchor tag. So basic of anchor tag to link from another one site to another site using that. So anchor, I'm just using a href. So if I give href, it will create as a link, and then when you click on that, you need to navigate that particular link to some other web page. So this is how you can uh, create a link to another site. So it creates a hyperlink to the URL http example.com. So when you click on that, it would navigate to the particular link. To denote a link in the external website, you can use external link type. So a href, which is nothing but the link. Rel, I'm just telling that this is a external link type, so that I'm just mentioning rel external. So example site. So this is my example site. When I click, will create, now will display as a link. When I click on this example website, it will re-navigate to this particular domain, and then you can use. So you can also create a link to the sites with the help of a protocol other than HTTP. You can also link to a FTP site. So href ftp example.com. So this could be a link to a FTP site. The difference is that anchor tag is requesting the user browser connect to example.com. So using the file transfer protocol rather than hypertext transfer protocol. So you can use any one of those protocols to create a link between your websites. So next is how to create a link to a anchor tag. So anchor tag can use to jump a specific tags on HTML page. So a tag can point to any element that has a ID attribute. To know learn about ID and classes, you can also visit any of the documentation, or else so in my JavaScript session I have tell you the difference between ID and classes, and in upcoming session also I will explain you more in detail. So suppose anchor tags are mostly used to jump to a subsection of a pages, and also used in conjunction with the header tags. Suppose you can create page on many topics. So H2, P tag, first topic, content about the first topic, second topic, content about the second topic. So once you have created several pages, you can create a table of content at the top of the pages with a particular bookmark to a specific session. If you have given an ID attribute to your topic, you could then link to them. So H2, this is my ID attribute, and I'm just created a P tag. Again H2 and just created a ID attribute and just linking that. So with the help of that ID, I can link any of my element with the help of that ID. So now I can use the anchor in my table of contents. So H1 table of content. So anchor, if I click on this link, it will navigate to the topic one. So if I click to jump to a second topic, it will navigate to a topic two. So these anchor tags are attached on this particular web page. So you can also create a page to other by referencing the pages on the anchor name. So here is my anchor name. I'm just creating a link to refer my pages. So the above example will go to a file example at a root directory of a server. If a link was on this particular http example.com, the following two links will bring the user to the same location. So href, the particular page text, and a href, and this is my link text here will generate a link. If I click on, it will navigate to the particular page. So both will go to the page file at the root directory. So both should be same. So next is just this is an example how to link or dial a number. If a value of a href attribute begins with a telephone or your device with a number, how it will works. So a mobile devices or computer or the tablets, it's running on software, it will make a phone call. So if you click on call us, it will call to the particular number with whatever you have given inside that href. So for that you need to give like this, href equal to telephone colon, that should be a number. So when you click on this call us, it will call to the respective number. So most device and program will prompt the user in same way to confirm the number they are about to dial. So next is how to link that runs on JavaScript. So simply you can use a JavaScript function to run the text instead of opening a normal code. So JavaScript, my function. So if I click on run code, it will hits that particular my function in my href tag, and then it will runs. So this is how you can create a link for the different thing, for a number, for a JavaScript, etc. And you can also archive like this on click my function return false run code. So the return false is necessary to prevent your page from scrolling to the top when the link is clicked. So mark sure to include all the codes you are to run before read. So you can include an exclamation mark after hashtag in order to prevent the page scrolling from the top. So this will work because any invalid will cause the link not to scroll anywhere on the page, because it could not able to locate the element if an ID is not equal to that particular thing. So you can would just use a scroll to achieve the same effect, and it is not required. So href on click function, it will run the code. So basic usage, if a value of your href tag begins with a particular thing, it will try to open a email ID, email client on click. So href, I have given an email. So if I click on the send mail, it will send a mail to the particular thing, and then it will ask for the recipient of the newly created mail BCC and CCC. I will show you the syntax for BCC and CCC as well as. So in that I have mentioned CCC should be this and BCC should be this and then send mail. So subject and body of the text also you can populate. So href malto, this is example. This is my email, question mark, subject and body, message plus text. Also I can encode that. So those values must be URL encoded. When clicking on the link, it will try open your default email by operating. So next is list. So there are three ways for specifying list: ordered list, unordered list, and description list. So ordered list is used to describe sequence, and unordered list it will generate a bullet to your list, and description list is used to indent to the list element with their children. So first example is ordered list. So it was used to create with the help of OL tag, and each element and item can be created with LI tag as below. So OL, which is nothing but ordered list, and LI is a list between the ordered list. So this is how you need to create your ordered list. Opening and closing of OL tag, in between it should have a list tag. So it should be in ordered form. It will display it 1, 2, 3 like that. So this will produce the number as your default. So there is a couple of ways you can play with this number appear on the list. The first way, you can set a starting number using the start attribute. So it will start with a defined number and continue incrementing one by one as usual. So for example, OL start 3, item li tag, item, some other item, at another item, close OL. So it will start with 3, 4 and 5. So this is how you can also set your number in the ordered list with the help of a start attribute. So you can explicitly set a certain list item to a specific number, one after specified value incrementing, or else you can ignore where a parent list was not that present. So li value 7, I'm just close li. So it is worth nothing that by using the value attribute you can override ordered list by restarting the number at the lowest value. So if the parent list was already up to a value 7 and encountered a list item at the value 4, then that list item would still displayed as 4 and continue counting from the point again. So OL5 and ordered list item, some other item, and the list I'm just having a 4. I'm just resetting that, another item, closing. So what will be the output? So what it will do? So the above will procedure follows the numbering pattern of 5, 6, and then it will do 4, 5, 6 starting again. So previous, and it will duplicating the number 6 in the list. The start and value attribute only accepts a number. Even if a ordered list is set displayed as Roman numbers or letters, you can reverse the number by adding a reverse in your ordered list. So OL reversed item, item, some other item, for value 4 resetting an item, another item, and that like that. So next is unordered list. So it can be created with a tag. So each element can be created with a tag as shown below. So unordered list with the UL tag in between list tag. So it will produce a bullet, which is the default style. So item, another item, this it will create bullet apart from 1, 2, 3 because it is an unordered list. So if changing order of list make a list incorrect, you can use OL tag, which is nothing but ordered list. So next is nested list. You can create a nested list to represent the sub items of your list. So, unordered list, first of all, I have created unordered list, li, and then I'm just using again unordered list. I'm just closing this unordered list. I'm just closing li tag. So again, I'm just opening and then I'm closing. So item 1, item 2, this is unordered sub of this ul tag, and then I'm closing, and this is I'm just closing at this list, and then I'm closing ul. So I'm just created a nested unordered list here. So next is description list. So it is called as before HTML5 created with DL element. So it contains a name value groups where name is given with DT element and the value is given with DD. So DL, DT and DD. So DL tag opening closing, DT and value is given as DD. So name 1, and here is the value for the name 1, and name 2, here is the value for name 2. So DT and DD, everything should have opening and closing tag. So a name value group, you can also add one or more like this. So DL, opening, closing. So DT, and for 2DT, I have DD value and DT, like this also you can use. So DT is a name and the value for DT I will mention in DD tag. So next is table. So the HTML table element allow the web authors to display a tabular data such as, next is tables. HTML table elements allows a web authors to display tabular text, images, links, other tables. So in it is like a two-dimensional table with row and column cells. So I will just show you the simple table opening and closing tag. So tr, it is nothing but a row and it should have a closing tag, and th is a table heading, which is nothing but I'm just giving the heading, and it should have a closing tag slash th. So and td, it is a table definition, so it should have a closing tag slash td. So same as well as td and slash td, I'm just closing a table row and table tag. So this is a simple. So it should starts with table opening and table close, and tr and th or the table row heading and table definition. So this is a simple table tag. So the next is this will render a table consisting of 3 total rows and one of a header and 2 row of content cells. So the TH elements are the tabular header and the TD element or the tabular data. So you can put wherever you want inside like this. So next is spanning of column or rows. So the table cells have span multiple columns or rows using row span and column span attribute. So applied to TH and TD elements. So table TR, so TD, I'm just giving row 1, column 1, row 2, row 1, column 1, 2, 3, just closing, and TD column span 3. So I'm just closing TR. So likewise, TD, this is third row and this is fourth row. I'm just closing. So this is how you can create your row span and column span with the help of TR and TD tag. So this is the summary of today's session. I have shown you what is HTML and difference between HTML and HTML5, how to use doc types, headings, paragraph, how to format your text, how to use anchor and hyperlinks, tables, and how to generate lists in HTML. So this is what today's session. So see you all on my next session. If you have any queries, please write to info@uplatz.com. So the so at the after my presentation. So now next part I'm going to show you the theoretical demo for the topics which we have covered today. So let's see that. I'm just ending my PPT. So I'm going to show you a practical demo of my first program. I'm just using a text editor, Notepad++ here. So you can see here, 1 minute. I'll just share my new share. Okay. So you can, this is first Hello World program. You can see here head. Inside that I have displayed title. Inside my body I'm just displaying Hello World. This is my simple program. So at the first line I am just mentioning a doc type. So I have already told you this doc type, it will tell you the version of your HTML tag which you are using. So let's run this program. I'm just opening with Chrome. So this is the output for that program, Hello World, and you can see the title, and then this is a paragraph tag which we have displayed. So the next example I'll show you. So this is the difference between H1 and paragraph, H2 and H3, etc. So the same thing, I'm just using a doc type. Within the body I'm just displaying everything. So I'll try run this program as well as with the Chrome. Hello is my title. So H1, and this is H6 tag. So you can see the difference of between H and paragraph tag. So this is the all about. So then in our next code, next example, I have shown you how to highlight your text, how to bold, how to italic, how to insert, how to strike with the help of superscript and subscript, how to use ordered list and unordered list, and also I have shown you the example for the table of a content. Altogether I have written one program. So if you have any queries regarding this program, please refer the PPT which I have explained you in this particular session. So altogether I have given you the output. So you can see this is how it will mark, if highlight your text if you use your mark tag, and then it has striken your text, and this is a subscript and this is a superscript, and the table, this is the link you can see here. When I click on this one, it will navigate to topic 1. If you click on this, it is changing to topic 2, and this is the ordered list, this is unordered, and the nested list. So this is how it will display for table tag. So this is the example, uh, practical demo for the example which I have shown you for today's session. So if you have any queries, please write to info@uplatz.com. See you all on my next session. Thank you.